All right. We are back.
Hey guys, we're back.
We've read all of the chapters. We've discussed everything.
We're
Togashi's
all
return.
caught up.
Yep, caught up. Refreshed.
We're here for the bingo sheet chapter.
Yep.
I went back. I saw comments, but y'all haven't posted any comments about what predictions y'all think might happen in the next chapter.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's a shame, but hey, man. Sometimes it just snoozed. It's all up to us in the end, anyway. Yep. Hey, man, listen. That last bingo sheet that you and I made before that last batch back in 2024, we were on something. I think we need to be like blood tested for like the insane stuff that we were writing in that
Look.
in that bingo.
Look.
We'll talk about it because we talked about it throughout the reactions. We like referenced it every now and then, but now we'll actually discuss it like we said we would.
So, in our last bingo sheet, I still have it here, and I had it up. I had it updated as of chapter 408. I'm going to mention things that we crossed out. Right. First thing, do you want me to do column wise or row by row?
Row by row.
For things we covered. Okay. Top row, we crossed out two things, which is announcement for Hendrik's group completed. We ended up crossing that out because, if I remember correctly, the previous batch, not the one we just read, but the batch before that, it left off with Hendrik and his group hearing an announcement.
Yeah, the Phantom Troop in chapter 400.
And we crossed that out because we got the end of that announcement. The next one that got crossed out was Zhang Li coin shenanigans.
Yep, we got
plenty of that
out there for 2 chapters. For 2 chapters, we got that, man. We learned more about them coins.
Second row, we got Serenich flexes.
Go.
Should put that. And new Nen lore, which I remember making this on like. There was a chance we might not get new Nen lore, but we ended up getting a new Nen lore anyway. Well, with the curses and all this extra stuff about like how
the stuff with specialists, the pie chart. Yep.
We got that.
And we also learned in chapter 401 where babies who have their aura nodes open, they instinctively learn 10 and Zetsu.
We even got the percentages of, I think it was 1 in 3,000 become specialist for everybody who learns Nen. In row 4, we only got 1. No, we got 2. We got Cocky and world building. We got in 408. With the whole,
Cocky parties.
And,
the treasures.
And we got Leorio sighting, which I remember throwing there, and you were like, "There's no way."
No way.
I got a Leorio sighting. That was goated.
Grin isn't telling you guys this yet, but on that bingo sheet, he also added Jing and Pariston stuff. It's like, listen.
Look, guys, I will go to the things. I will, and once I finish talking about the things that we've crossed out, that we actually got in the last batch, I will then talk about the predictions that are left over that we haven't crossed out yet.
That just gives you an idea of how cracked this was.
Also, by the way, guys, for anyone listening, this is not a 5x5 bingo sheet. This is a 7x7 bingo sheet. Okay? On row number 4, Hart, we crossed out 5 predictions on row number 4. Kaiser and his gang make a move. Present Krollo sighting. Peak, obviously. Benjamin has a no chill moment, and Hisoka tier 1 sighting. We're the most cracked out.
We were cracked.
That was nuts. That was nuts. Row number 5, we only crossed out 2, which is to Beppa's Nen Beast revealed, which we got. And new Nen abilities got introduced, which is the
Moonlight.
Moonlight. Yeah.
We this wasn't a new ability, but we learned more about Morena's. We learned more about Bono's.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else. 4-2 nothing. 4-3 nothing. Yeah, I think that was the only legit new Nen ability, the long heated Moonlight ability.
Yeah. Technically Beyond's as well with the whole
Nen curses, yeah. But that's just that. Yeah, that's just extra Nen stuff, you know.
Yeah, we got nothing on row 6. Not a single one on row 6, which, to be fair, makes sense because row 5 and 6 were just cracked out. They were the most insane ones. And then row 7, we got 4. We got Minor Debts. We got Morena makes her move. We got Netero Beyond chapter, which I put in, and
and I told him I told Grid bro, you're this ain't happening, and it happened.
First chapter in the match, and then we got Hockenberg assassination subplot.
Yeah, which we knew we had to get. It's way too important. It was set up all the way back in the 380s.
Okay. Now that we've gotten all of these out the way, unfortunately, we didn't get a bingo. We were very close to getting a bingo, but we didn't get any of them.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I mean, the fact that we got that much is impressive.
Yes, it is. Now, Hart, I will... you can start from the top left and start putting in the existing entries that we haven't crossed out from the previous bingo.
Let me peek.
Change. Yeah, peek. Yeah.
The free space, because we're gonna get every chapter of Hunter is a peak chapter, so it's explanatory.
Start from the top left.
All right.
So first one is an existing carryover.
And another one that you didn't mention was the Nasubi Devil Hand shenanigans.
Yes.
Yeah. We get that because, the treasures.
Yeah. We put it as TBD, as in to be determined.
Yeah.
Because it never confirmed.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah. Similarly, we got major death of a character directly involved with Succession War. Also as TBD, to be determined, because we don't really know the details of what happened with, Benjamin?
Yeah.
And the whole Hockenberg situation.
Yeah.
So we should put that also as TBD. Okay. So anyway, top left, right? First one, carrying over, Titanic moment on the ship. So what I mean by this is, for anybody who's seen Titanic, right? Yep. The ship basically hits like an iceberg, and there's a ball, there's some trail, there's an iceberg that they collapse on.
Basically,
Titanic, right?
The ship is screwed and it's on the verge of sinking, or we're getting to a point where it is. And honestly, this is me and Grin like to be crazy like this, where we put the most unlikely bingo ones to keep it fun and exciting. We know this is not going to happen anytime soon. It's eventually going to happen, most likely.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon. I feel like this is going to happen once we get into the Dark Waters.
It's one of those wild cards one of those wild cards that we're adding to the bingo, like the other ones we're going to mention, that were on the previous ones but didn't make it.
Yep. All right. Then the next one, to the right, the next one is Cockeen Princess Flashback.
Yep. This is my personal one. This is my personal one right here, where I think I was the one that wrote this in the previous bingo.
Yeah.
And like my feeling for this is even stronger than before, because of where the story is going now when it comes to Hulkenberg's fate. We have to get more with him and Seti. We have to, and it feels like we got like a little bit with Seti in chapter 394. Benjamin's on death's door. We learn he has an illegitimate child, so we might have to learn more about his past. You know, there's like, and then there's on top of that with the letters, where Kurapika is about to reveal Oito's letter. So there's potentially like more information being unraveled about the princes that could, and then we might segue into a Cocky and Prince flashback later on. But this is one of the ones I'm interested in. I love the princes. I love the world of Cockine. I love the dynasty. I want to learn more.
Yeah. The next one, next two technically. Well, the next one immediately is Kurapika learns of PT on board.
Yeah, Phantom Troop
on board. Yeah.
Man, like it has to happen eventually. Like
it has to happen.
Yeah, because now Crollo's on his way to tier 1. So this is even more likely than possible. This is like one of the more wild card ones where I think you and I both knew it wasn't going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
But now that we know that Bono's on tier 1, Hisoka's on tier 1, you know, Kurapika's on his way to tier 1 because he's looking for someone that's being guided by the phone. It's going to happen anytime soon. Could be this stretch, could be the next stretch afterward. It's insane.
Yeah. There's next one is Phantom Troop Fortunes again.
Yeah. And honestly, dude, what's crazy, Grin? A lot of these like really like cracked ones that we wrote are now even more likely to happen than before.
Yeah, they could definitely happen. Fortunes, not flashback.
My bad.
Fortunes. Yeah, you're good.
Like, if you guys remember, Shizuku's fortune, the conditions for it is that she has to be alone. She's now separated from Bono. She's separated from Crollo. And right now, troop members are seeping into tier 1. And if you guys remember the fortune specifically when it comes to her, that she dies surrounded by Scholar Eyes. My goat, the chosen one, the beast of the east, Cocky Jesus. Y'all know what I'm going through. Like, she could potentially somehow get into tier 1, get folded by my boy, be a Seti victim. Who knows? She could also be a Kurapika victim. But she is specifically, in her fortune, it specifically mentions treasure. And my goat's got treasure. And he's got the Scarlet Eyes. So again, this is very likely to happen. We don't know where she is currently, but troop members are starting to get there.
The next one is this again crackpot, right? This is some Dark Continent glazing type shit.
Yeah.
Guardian
has to let it
info
go.
Drop.
What's up, man?
The Guardian info drop.
Oh yeah.
We get to realize who the Guardian is.
This is not gonna happen. Yeah. But like, it's fun stuff to add in here for the sake of levity. Like, we know this is not gonna happen. It's just fun to have it because of the what ifs. I mean, listen, crazier things have happened. We put the Leorio stuff. We put the Beyond stuff. Like, we know in our heart of hearts this will not happen, but it's fun, you know, just to imagine it.
Yeah. All right. The one after that is something that I thought was cool. Is the Sunday of a Blind Man. If you guys know, in Christian lore, Sunday of a Blind Man, essentially it's a significant day in the Orthodox Christian calendar. Basically, what I mean by Sunday of a Blind Man is there's this theory that, at least in the original Sunday of a Blind Man, there's like Jesus basically cures and provides
Saladanius
provides sight to a person who can't see, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, Jesus would be Crollo, because all the Christian whatever, and I'm not too sure I don't remember who I put as the blind man.
You put
but
Seti.
I remember that the aspect of who did I put Saturnich?
So Grant, I'm actually give some pushback on this, because
you don't think this? Yeah.
Because I used to think this, but then I like thought more about the symbolism of Seti. So here's the thing: Seti gained his ability on Sunday on the banquet. His ability requires him to close his eyes, so he has to physically blind himself to be able to see further beyond the constructs of his reality. So he is Sunday the blind man. His name is also Celadonius. That's the OG guy that was born blind, and then he was cured of his blindness by Seti, by Jesus. My bad. Seti has the likeness of Jesus, but his name is based off Celadonius. You know, there's like, so I think we already attained the Sunday of the blind man stuff.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Do you think there'll be a thing where like something helps him achieve being able to see the future without necessarily having his eyes closed, so like he can achieve like perfect state?
He can already like open his eyes, when he's already like 10 seconds ahead in the future.
Like, I'm thinking about this, right?
Yeah, because he's already experimented in his ability in 387.
If Krollo's able to take the treasures, do you think he'd? No, I don't know, because I don't think Krollo and Serenich necessarily have any beef.
No, maybe? No, not yet. I mean, he has beef if he tries to steal the treasures.
But also, maybe not. Maybe Serenich doesn't really care too much about the treasures themselves.
I mean,
we don't know too much about Serenich's like mind, like whatever.
Yeah.
Mind scheme.
We know he eventually. Yeah. What's up, man?
If you want to bench it, we can bench it until we can, figure out a better one.
Yeah.
We could bench that one.
Yeah, we can bench it. Because
okay,
like, bro, Seti's such a crazy character, because there's also like his dynamic and thematic parallels with Komagi and Medium, Netero, James John, and I forget the other guy. But
the other reason I remember saying it is because we know that the Requiem 2.0 is going to happen at some point, and there is a major Sunday dinner coming up soon, right?
Yeah, right now we're on Thursday. Right?
Yeah. That's the other reason I wanted to put, the theory there of the Sunday of the blind man theory there.
Yeah. Well, actually, we're going back like 10 hours, and we're going back like 10 to 12 hours in time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, in the actual Christian lore, it's called the Feast of Ascension.
Yeah.
So perhaps there's like something like there might be something there. Feast of Ascension. I mean, if it's the Feast of Ascension, maybe like it's also the feast of like somebody stealing treasures. I don't know. We'll bench it. The next one I have is.
Do you want me to write the Requiem 2.0?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay.
The next one is Melody killed for knowing too much. I totally believe this will probably happen.
Honestly, this is more likely than possible, considering how dangerous Kaiser is, because he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. And they even talked about where these guys don't trust him, but they're at a point where they're so positionally weak that he's the only one that's strong enough to, with some position of authority and clout, to look after them. But there's also a point to where once they outlive their purpose, then he'll get rid of them. He's potentially more dangerous than the princes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next carryover one is Sonata of Darkness.
Oh, yeah. This is a cracked one. This is a cracked one, bro. Like, we know this is not going to happen anytime soon, but it's just something hype. Because one, it involves Melody. Melody is currently in the Ark. We could randomly get Sonata of Darkness lore. Sonata of Darkness is also probably very heavily tied with the DC. That's the only reason, it is just like this cool bit of like Hunter lore that we learned all the way back in York New, and then we never got anything else on again. This piece of music composed by Satan.
Yeah. Next carryover one is Bill flashback.
Yeah, this is a mind. I can tell this is like a heart one, because we learn more about Bill back in chapter 388. I know the very infamous chapter, the Yap chapter, that people like to complain about, where we got a bit more insight on Bill's views and about the state of the Nen classes, where they're distributing all this power. And then he talks about how he's seen many a time how people who strike it rich or get power suddenly lose themselves and fall from grace. And about how, one of the big themes of the arc, absolute power corrupts absolutely. We could potentially learn more about Bill. We know he's affiliated with Beyond. We learn more about Beyond in this in 401. So what does this mean for Bill's allegiances? Because the stuff with Long He and all of that, and the contract. So we could potentially learn more about Bill. Bill's, to me, is an interesting character. I want to learn more about him. I don't think he's living past this arc, so we have to eventually learn more about him. Either he talks about it, or we get an actual flashback for a chapter or something.
Yep. The next or leftover one is Wobble Awakens, which I put this one in.
Yeah.
It's like, Wobble has too much significance, and it's just a baby and has done nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need some sort of secret Nen awakening happening.
Yeah, that Nen beast, bro.
Yeah. I need to see what Wobo's Nen beast is. I need to have ideas. So Wobble Awakens is one of the things I put.
It's one of those things that can happen anytime. We don't know when and how it's going to happen. We know it has to happen. It'll be one of the craziest, massive revelations in the whole arc when we see what the hell this Nen beast is. And this is a Grin one, too. Yeah. I can tell.
Then the next one, again, me, Ging and Harrison shit.
Yeah. Bro, Grin... This man has been fiending for Jing and Pearson content for so many years, bro. Ever since I put this man on Hunter, ever since he's been reading this arc, he's been like, "Yo, I want to see more of Jing and Pearson." You're never gonna get Jing and Pearson, bro. But hey, listen, it's fun to have these sort of crackhead wild ones in here because it's entertaining.
Yeah. The next one, I don't know if we should cross this one out or not. It's Camilla comes back. I'd carry it over. Camilla comes back in the sense Camilla does something major.
Yeah, I mean, we have to.
I carry it over because she hasn't done. Yeah. She hasn't done anything yet.
Now she's gonna. Now her cast system members are specifically Sarah Hell is finally gonna make her move. So this is gonna be a very easy cross out when we do get the chapters.
Yep. Next one is actual combat. Like an actual fight.
Yeah. Bro, it feels like Togashi's been edging us, man. Like, just when we think we're gonna get some fights, or we're gonna get actual action, not a few pages of fights and it's a one-side. Well, most fights in Hunter are one-sided, but most fights in this arc have just been straight up a few pages, and that's about it.
Yep.
And it feels like we're slowly getting there. And now it feels like that next 10, it's about to go crazy. Smoke.
The next one is you. Silent majority reveal.
Yeah. I feel it. We have to get it soon. This is one of the craziest, one of the most hype hooks in the story so far. And this has been something that all of us have been interested in and have been thinking about this murder mystery. You've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. We don't know who the hell it is. We learned that Long is a Nen user.
What is their whole deal, and why are they just randomly introduced and we get nothing else?
Yeah, they killed a few people. They killed 2 people, and technically not 2. They killed a whole bunch of people prior to the Nen class starting in the very beginning of the arc.
And then just dip.
Yeah. No questions asked. That's it. We learned. I remember, Grin, when chapter 400 dropped back in 2022. We were like, "Yo, hold on. Did Togashi just reveal the silent majority user? He just literally had a character admit, I know Nen." And then we got 401 2 years later, and she outright states, "Just so you know, I'm not involved with the snakes." So now we're back to the mystery. We now have another character cross off. That Silent Majority is not affiliated with Two-Bappa the Fifth Prince. They're not Long He. So who the hell is Silent Majority? Are they even in the class anymore? Are they involved with a prince that has been dead, aka most likely Saleh Saleh? We don't know. We don't know if Silent Majority is potentially Kaiser. We don't know who the hell this guy is. We don't know if Silent Majority is affiliated with the Queens, is affiliated with Beyond, is affiliated with the Justice Bureau.
No idea.
Yeah.
Next one is caste system stocks.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We're getting this.
Obviously. Next leftover one is time jump. Last time I said massive time jump like a week. But this time I'm going to say just time jump.
Okay.
Small. Whether it's a small one or large one, just a time jump. Any type of time jump.
Yeah. And honestly, I doubt we'll even get a time jump. But again, just like some of these really insane crackhead ones in here, I'll keep it because it's entertaining. And who knows? We did it somehow. It surprised me, man. In that last stretch that we got, we made through a lot of days.
Yeah.
Like what? We went through from Tuesday. We went from Tuesday to Wednesday, and now we're on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday afternoon actually.
Yeah, crazy.
Afternoon actually, Thursday. Next one carryover is again one that I think Max would love this one. Hisoka meets Illumi. The smoke.
The fake 4, bro. The phony 4. Hisoka.
The next one carryover is Nasubi Devil Hand Shenanigans, which we put as TBD because it really is TBD to be confirmed whether his devil hands have anything to do with the treasures or what else. But yeah, Devil Hand Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was cooking on this next one.
Yeah.
Info on the deal Nasubi and Beyond Me.
Yeah. So, if you guys remember, because I pretty much, these videos from the 2022 chapters are pretty much privated, delisted. I still have them. I didn't delete them. But Grin essentially made a video, or he didn't make a video, but in one of the reactions, he presented a theory about Beyond and Nasubi having a deal that involves the DC. Of course, it's kind of Togashi kind of negated it because we learned like more about Beyond's actual goals in 401.
Yeah.
And that there is possibly no deal, and that this man Beyond is most likely hoodwinking this man Nasubi from behind his back.
Yeah.
But we'll have it, yeah.
There clearly still is some deal between Nasubi and Beyond.
Yeah.
Whether the extent of how far up to DC does Beyond plan on taking, Nasubi and the King, or does he just plan on like gaslighting them and then killing them at the refueling station? We don't know. But it'll still be good to know what the actual terms and conditions of the deal was.
Because we also need to learn, Grin, that Beyond has been affiliated with Cocking for 30 plus years, potentially even longer. So we need to learn, how exactly did Beyond learn about Cocking? How did he meet Nasubi? Does Beyond have any connection to the Cupcake era? The Mickey Mouse contest era with Nasubi.
That's crazy.
Because we know that this man is Beyond is affiliated with the military. The dude is called I think he was titled as a general.
We need to know how did he come to Kaki? Who all did he meet in Kaki?
Yeah.
How did he raise his ranks and get to
what's their dynamic like?
Meet Nasubi. Yeah, how did he get to a position where he could have a deal with Nasubi? And then how does this all tie into Pariston? And beyond and all that shit, because that's also
and there's a lot here. Like, we could still learn about. It's not exactly as DC involved as we thought, but considering what we learned in 401, something went on between these two way back when.
I mean, there's still probably some element to the DC, considering they're Beyond's the one saying that he'll take us there.
Yeah.
But what the extent of the actual deal?
That's another thing, because Beyond clearly wants something from the DC. We don't know what that is, and honestly, we're probably never going to learn what that is in this arc, because right now he's currently focused on the Succession War.
But if we get information, that would be a crazy
drop. It would be crazy. It would be a godly chapter. And I want to talk about the Hisoka meets Illumi thing real quick. Mm-hmm. We don't know, that they have a little cat and mouse game going on. We know Hisoka's in tier 1. Illumi is currently in tier 3 with the Zoldycks, not the Zoldycks, the Zodiacs.
Yep.
So that's going on. We have not seen Illumi ever since chapter 370, 378, 379. We don't know what the hell's been going on with him. He's just been kind of MIA with Kabuto. We have to eventually see him. He's way too hype of a character. He's got way too much going on. We've never seen him fight. We've never seen him do anything in the story.
It's just good writing to narratively tie those two characters and have their encounter happen.
Yeah.
On board the ship.
Those characters have history going.
They've been built up. Yeah, they've been built up
since Hunter Exam.
Series. Yeah, since Hunter Exam. Throughout the series, and Illumi now has a reason to kill Hisoka.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Next one is major death of a character directly involved in the Succession War. I put TBD here because we don't know what went down between Hockenberg and Benjamin, and we also don't know if Benjamin's going to die in this volume. So he might.
Yeah.
If he does, then we get to cross it out.
I don't think. Again, this is just very crackheady, but it really feels like someone massive is gonna die. And when we say major, we mean a big name. We're not talking about bodyguard number 58. We're not talking about some shit like that. We're not talking about a mafia member. I mean, sure, we know the mafia member character names, but they're not major.
We're talking about the princes.
Yeah.
Or either one of the major Zodiacs, or
a more
team.
Yeah.
One of the big.
Or a more of a bigger bodyguard. For example, Hanzo, for example. Sure, we haven't seen him since the early for a while now, but he's still pretty important because he's affiliated with a lot.
Essentially, this has to be a character that actively affects the plot directly.
Yeah.
And they're not just
and has a subplot.
Single frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a subplot and they have moving pieces that affect the dynamic of the entire arc.
And honestly,
they're important.
This would be hype. Seeing it, dude, it would be one of the craziest, most hype chapters. And it could very well happen very soon.
Mm-hmm. Next one was Bobby Mina characterization.
Yeah, this is a hard one, because I'm the one who's been eyeing this character since I've seen him, and that is extremely small. I'll just put Bobby Mina. We'll get it. We'll understand it. But this is a character I've been wanting to learn more about. He's one of the most interesting guards in the whole story. He's one of the most interesting minor characters in all of Hunter for me. He's a character where we don't understand him so far. We rarely get into this guy's head. We know he's affiliated and is very loyal to Benjamin, because Benjamin's ability requires high morale, and you have to be involved with the military, and you have to have graduated from the military. So okay. But then you also look at Bobby Mina's actions when it comes to Kurapika and how he's been kind of giving them free reign. And he's been very respectful to Oito, which makes sense. Oito's in higher status compared to a soldier. But what the hell is going on with Bobby Mina? Because we had something interesting going on with him in 401 where Furico was like, yo, is something wrong? And he's like, no, nothing. And this was after the stuff with Long Heat. There's theories that Bobby Mina is potentially a child of Beyond, but I doubt it because but I doubt it because here's the thing: if he's a child of Beyond, then he's also accursed, and I find it very hard to believe that someone who has an N curse is just casually in Benjamin's entourage because these guys have to at least know Gyo.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so there's no way that they could not have seen that Nen curse, unless like the Nen curse is like so hard to spot, even with Gyo.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's very interesting. Like we have to like this is one of those surefire ones we have to eventually get. I don't know when. He could eventually die. He's one of the most interesting characters. He has potential to be one of my favorite minor characters. Characters like him exemplify why I say Succession was the best arc, because literally it has the best cast of characters, and he's one of them. Henrik is one of them. Bill is one of them.
All right. Next one is Serenage N. Yeah?
Yeah.
Seti N. Let's find out what his N is.
Yep. And then this is involved with an old theory. So this involved with the Hulkenberg assassination subplot, where I listed a whole bunch of ideas about how Hulkenberg could eventually be could get out of that conundrum. And one of my really like wild theories was that Seti indirectly saves Hulkenberg, where this man uses his N, and it's like one of the greatest like, and his N was so godlike, and that's how everybody in the first tier knows about, especially Benjamin, now knows that Seti is an N user, and he gets so scared, so worried, that he's like, nah, Hulkenberg doesn't matter now. That's a bigger threat. We have to take that guy out ASAP. Of course, that never happened. He's training with his Zetsu. You know, Hulkenberg managed to circumvent that situation on his own. We could eventually see it, and it would be like such a hype instance just to see how godly this guy's N is. But right now, I don't think we're gonna see it because he's focused on Zetsu. But we could see it way later in the story.
Next one is Delivery Service Exposition. Mm-hmm. Which, for those of you who don't remember, is mentioned about 2 volumes ago when we get the flashback.
We got it in chapter.
Flashback.
We got it in chapter 402. No, my bad. Not 402. 392.
399, right?
My bad. 392 or 393. It's the one where we had Sudonke, where we got like extra stuff about the ship, where we learned that this is only involved with people in the higher tiers, aka tiers 1 and tiers 2, because it's only available to the rich. And this delivery service is only open for 2 weeks.
First couple weeks or something.
Yeah, for the 2 weeks. We're near the end of the second week. This is involved with Sudonke, who wants to get autographs for the troop.
Yeah. My theory is that if the Requiem Part 2 ever happens, and they and the troop needs a way to get off the ship, the delivery service works.
Yep. The delivery service. Way to get off the ship. Steal the treasures, then fly off to the sunset with the ships, with the airships or the lifeboats. And of course, people don't know this, but the delivery service was foreshadowed and hinted at all the way back in chapter 366, where Camila was talking to Dwazil, talking about how get these magazines for me. I'll take a look at them myself and I'll tell you to get them for me. Of course, you'd be like, how the hell would you get them? You're on a ship. But now we know, because of the delivery service, that because this delivery service is still due, that's how she would be able to get these things.
Yep. The next one we got that I don't know if it was you or me, was Tyson makes an alliance with another prince.
That's you. This is Grin.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I think is very possible. Right now, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. Mm-hmm. But as certain princes get removed off the proverbial chessboard, I could see Tyson go out of their way to try and make an alliance with either Zhang Li or somebody else.
Yeah. It could happen.
Yeah.
Because so far Tyson hasn't really done anything. The last we've really gotten of Tyson was in chapter 400, where Uzunabi told Tyson that you should try to give this letter to the king, and that hopefully him reading the book of Tython would affect him in some way and be able to affect the succession war or maybe like stop it. So there's that subplot going on. Tyson, of course, I don't think Tyson's ever gonna die. Not anytime soon. I know people hate Tyson for some reason, but Tyson's a great character. Very interesting. Mm-hmm. Can't die anytime soon because we still haven't seen the Nen Beast do anything. And there's this, and there's still the stuff with Juliana.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah, the next couple ones are all me.
Yeah.
14 coffins.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, Grin, it was cracked. This is a super crackhead one because this is something that you've been wanting to learn about ever since chapter 371.
Yep.
When this thing was first introduced. This is still one of the biggest mysteries of this whole arc. We saw it only once and it never came up again. We don't know what the hell it does. We don't know how it involves the Great Tree of Cocking. That's another thing we still know nothing about.
Which also is,
Togashi, Togashi just casually name drops the Great Tree of Cocking, just casually drops the spread of the 14 commons, and then no questions asked, he just moves on.
You could put Tree of Cocking as one, and then you could put Requiem Part 2 as one as well.
Yeah. But the thing with the 14 coffins is it was a super crackhead theory. We know eventually we'd have to get it. We knew it was not anytime soon. This is big climax type stuff. But with the fact that how it involves the Krollo subplot with the treasures, now we have to get this. I can feel it. We're close to learning more about this. And we know it has to somehow involve the Great Tree of Cocking. We know nothing about the Tree of Cocking. We don't know if it's an actual tree, if it's a metaphysical, if it's just like a metaphorical tree. We know nothing. But we know it's heavily tied to Cocking lore.
Yep. Illumi and Fugetsu's mom also gets killed. Which honestly looks like it. Considering the way she's moving, it might happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember her name. Was it Katrana?
I don't remember. Jeez, it's been so long. Let me go back and check.
Yeah, go for it.
Fugetsu's mother is...
I think it could be Seiko.
Seiko. Yeah. Seiko. She gets killed.
Yep. Because we learn more about Seiko. That again, she's a because a lot of this arc is about, parents and their kids. We pretty much got more about Seiko. Well, we got more about her in chapter 400. We didn't get that much of her in this batch. And
I don't remember. Was it this batch where at some point was it this batch or the last batch where at some point she tried to
it was chapter 400.
It was chapter 400.
Yeah, because we did not get anything about her, but we learned more about Seiko, about how manipulative she is, how she didn't like Kacho that much, and she only likes Fugetsu because she's much more easier to control. But at the same time, Fugetsu herself is very weak of personality, doesn't have the same sort of vigorous strength that Kacho has. So now you kind of learn more about how manipulative these queens are to their kids. That some of these queens don't really give a shit about their kids. They just see them as opportunities. So you kind of understand why Kacho didn't like her all the way back in, I forget, what was it? Chapter 3, it was somewhere in the 370s, where Kacho has this conversation with Kaiser, and she says she's only saying this to assuage her guilt, to basically allude to the fact that Seiko's very two-faced. that she acts like this, but in reality she's a piece of shit.
She's like very two-faced. She mentioned she's like she's not who she appears to be.
Yeah. And now we got to see it. Like a lot of these queens, like bro, it's crazy, man, because Oito's one of the...
I think it's... I don't think she outright says she's a terrible person, but it's like implied from the context.
Yeah. We haven't gotten anything about Seiko. And I feel like, because here's the thing. The queens have not done anything yet in the story. They've been very inactive, very in the shadows. But with the fact that we got Unma and this deal between her and Dwazul, we're now getting to a point where we have to start seeing the queens make moves. Because they also have a stake in the game. And Seiko's now in a position to where she's basically forced to be involved in the plot because, one, Fugetsu's on death's door. Katra's just an end beast, and if Fugetsu dies, then she disappears as well. She now has to start making moves of her own, and this could potentially lead to her death.
Yeah. Next one we got was, I think I wrote this, is Illumi and Kaluto's bonding moment.
Yeah, I think this is me.
Yeah. We had Illumi and I think we talked about how like it's too good to not happen. Yeah. It just makes sense to have Illumi and Kaluto to have a bonding moment before Illumi gets killed.
Or yeah. That's if he gets killed, because people say like, oh, Illumi, like he can't die because of his subplot with Killua, but it's Togashi. He doesn't follow traditional stories like that. The reason why I wrote the Illumi Kaluto thing is because it heavily involves Kaluto's arc, where Kaluto wants to get Killua back, hence why he joined the troop. And this involves like his jealousy towards Aluka, who... So Kaluto has this thing where he wants to experience like the sort of brotherly love. And because he didn't really get that from Killua, he pretty much was doted on by her mom, by his mom. And then you have like Illumi, who has like this sort of possessive, obsessed, form of perverted love for Killua. So we're now at a point in the story to where we might get legitimate, earnest, brotherly dynamics here.
Yes. And
it would be very interesting for both of their characters, because Kaluto is a character that really has nothing. A lot of what makes the character good is subtextual dynamics, where you have to look at dynamics and the implications of it, and like look at really small things to parcel some things about Kaluto, and the stuff with Illumi as well. Like I feel like Togashi's cooking with this character.
Next one is Kurapika learns the truth. I don't remember what this was. This is about Serenich, right?
No. This was most likely the Kurta massacre.
Yeah. We have one as a separate one. We have Kurapika learns the truth and Kurta massacre flashback.
No. So they're different things, because the Kurta massacre flashback involves the Phantom Troop stuff.
Oh yeah, the Phantom Troop flashback. Yeah, Kurta massacre.
So the Kurapika learning the truth is tied to the idea of him learning that his people, the Kurta, aren't as good as he was led to believe. And
that they were happened. Shady people.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why the Phantom Troop try and kill them.
Yeah. Because, man, like, this is still one of the biggest mysteries in the whole story. We have to eventually learn it. It could potentially happen if he and Crollo meet again soon, which we know it's going to happen. It's bound to happen in this batch or the next stretch. But this is one of the biggest subplots. And the fact, especially with that Phantom Troop flashback that we learned, we don't know why the Kurta were slaughtered.
Yep. Kurta massacre flashback, obviously, is the next one. Mm-hmm. I think in brackets we said bonus points if they include Sheila.
Oh yeah. Which honestly, that's another character we need to learn more about, because Togashi can't just have a character in Volume 0 and then show that character in the flashback and then just kind of dip. Like, we don't know their fate. Their fate's mysterious. We don't know if they lived or not, or if they're dead. We know, because we got... Togashi explicitly told us this in the Volume 0 chapters, that the person who ended up discovering the Kurta massacre and then spread that information out to the rest of the outside world was Sheila herself, because she left and then came back a few days later or a few weeks later, and then that's how the world knows. And you can't just introduce a character like this, because we're on a ship currently. How do you somehow bring Sheila back unless you're gonna bring her back via flashback, or she's somehow in the ship? I know there's like the crackhead Sheila Harrison theories going on, but I doubt it. It's way too crackheady. But there's more to the character. There's more to this Kurta massacre. I think everyone can agree with this. Like,
yep.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, and then the last leftover one is Danjin's subplot.
Yeah, this is a hard one. So, if people remember, Seti told him, listen, regardless of whether or not you learn them, when you come back here, you need to prove your innocence. You need to prove your loyalty. So, this involves the fact that Danjin, unlike Miyuhan, has a lot more honor. He's not someone who likes to cause trouble. He understands. He actually believes Kurapika is a trustworthy individual, and that he's not being deceitful, and that he's being truthful with the Nen training. Kurapika currently is taking every person behind closed doors and then telling them about how earnest he is about the stalemate. Now, if you guys remember, Kurapika is also trying to get close to the fourth prince. That's his personal goal. And what's gonna happen? Because with the kind of person Danjin is, with his own sense of honor and his loyalty to the fourth prince, because we know that the bodyguards of the first 5 princes have intense, extreme, strong loyalty because they've been trained to serve these people, these princes, since childhood. So what's going to happen when Danjin learns about Kurapika's intention to force the stalemate and wanting to potentially cooperate, but at the same time, he has no choice but to follow Seti's command of proving himself to show that he's not being manipulated. We don't know what that is. Potentially the head of a bodyguard, the head of an enemy bodyguard, killing Kurapika, trying to assassinate Wobble. Danjin could also potentially refuse because he's also fearful of the goat, the beast of the east, and then he might get slaughtered by my goat. So this is, to me, is a very forgotten subplot by most people. Danjin's a very low-key character.
No one's gonna remember.
Yeah, he's a very low-key character. I'm the only one who even pays attention to this guy. And I feel like we're gonna get this guy very soon. We have to.
Okay. That's the end of all the carryover things. Mm-hmm. Now, we do all the new ones.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I'm gonna throw my hat at the first one. Beyond Netero conversation. I'm putting that there. We're getting the conversation.
Bro, oh my god, I remember when we first got 401. Grin has been asking for that combo every single damn chapter. The dude has not let it go. Dude's been begging for that chapter.
Give me the convo, bruh. Who is he talking to, Hart?
Oh my god.
Who is he talking to?
I know, bro. God knows. God knows at this point, bro. Oh my god, bro, it's way too high.
Man's just pulled up on the jail cell. Hey, yo, give me my 20 minutes. Let me talk to someone.
Yo, there's someone I'd like to speak to.
Give me my one phone call a day. Bro,
Togashi's so wild, man. How do you come back, drop this insane timeline beyond Netero lore, and then you show us the man at the man of the hour at the very end of the chapter, and then he says, yo, there's someone I want to speak to. Can you get them for me? And then never go back to this ever again for the rest of the stretch.
I need this.
What's even worse, Grin, is that potentially this is a very far-fetched, wild crackhead one, because we might not even get the man in this 10. In this next 10. We might not, but we have to learn more about Beyond. Either we learn about him in passing, we get dialogue about Beyond, or we actually see the man himself at the very end of the stretch. Bro, I'd be so tilted if Togashi trolls us and then he shows us Beyond at the very last chapter, chapter 420, and then he just ends on a cliffhanger, and it's like, well, shit, we have to wait a whole year to see that conversation.
I want us to go chapter by chapter based on information that we got in 401 all the way to 410.
Yeah.
And then add the predictions based on mine obviously Beyond Nether.
Yeah.
What's yours? What's the next one's yours? You get the next one.
So
from chapter 401 or 42.
Okay. Let me think. Because, of course, we have the stuff with Balsa Milko. You have the stuff with Zhangli and Tubeppa. There's also the SETI stuff. So, I'm gonna be predictable here.
SETI stuff, obviously.
There we go. Sock off, dog walk.
Dog walk. Yeah, he's getting folded. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's getting folded.
Like
it's
listen. I've been wanting to see this man fight. I've been wanting to see my goat put out the boxing gloves. Because listen, while these guys, these bodyguards, these puny guards, have been going through the LA Fitness 9 classes, my goat has been in his room sweating, deadlifting with 2 Nenbista spotters. Dude's been pulling off the greatest feats of all time. Sokov is scared. A guy with decades of Nen experience. A guy who's a confirmed child of Beyond. Listen, the blind witnesses have been talking, making all sorts of excuses. Oh, my goat is naive. Oh, my goat has genetics. Oh, like all this, that, and versa. I know they got other excuses ready. That Sokov is a bum and a jabroni. Like, SETI beating him doesn't make, like, SETI goated. Like, Lee Soka hasn't been fighting bums and tomato cans the whole series until he fought Frollo, and then he got unceremoniously jobbed like the clown he is. And then now he's busy fighting off tomato cans, plumbers, and milkmen in the series, aka the Troop. We have to see this. Togashi's been edging me with the subplot. I've been ever since chapter 386. Listen, I need to see more of my goat.
Okay, next one for me is Kaiser baits Lazarus. I need to see this. Yeah, Kaiser baits Frauders. Yeah, that's fine. Man's Frauderous. Frauderous is gonna get
Yukimoto, bro. Dude, okay. This is another one I want to make. Thuggerus Awakens.
Nah, that's crazy.
Listen, 2 sides of the same coin, man. Either Frauderus gets baited, or this man awakens the Millennium Puzzle, the Millennium Hashish, and then Thuggerus awakens. The drugs start kicking in. The blood vessels start jumping. The blood starts moving. The BMI starts beeping. Like, listen, because this man is being slowly encroached without realizing it. He's on his way to becoming a Kaiser Melody victim. People have been salivating, meat writing, talking about Thuggerus, talking about this guy having way more in the can, that we're underestimating him. That he can't be washed up like he's one of the benefactors of the mafias.
There's a reason he's called Lazarus, because he has an L in his name.
Yeah,
he takes L's.
Hasn't done a damn thing except smoke weed every day and watch movies. You know, like, that's all he's been doing. He's legit being carried by the fact he has Basho. And then people are also, like, delusional because they saw that sketch. You know the sketch I'm talking about, Grin, of thuggerous looking mean and gritty with the parental advisory with the gun. And like, dude, this is a character I've never seen it. A character is hard carried by a sketch, and that sketch gave him more aura than he has in the entirety of this arc so far. Now, mind you, he is a benefactor of the mafias. We do need to see more of him. It feels like there's more to his character. That there's like a darker, more like neurotic side to him. You know, because he's been playing it pretty chill. That he might have a dark, like Zhang Li-esque side, but let's be real here. Zhang Li is that guy. Like, dude, that man is the fox and the lion.
Thuggerous is a fraud.
He's a fraud.
It is what it is.
He's basically Yukimoto of the series.
Look, okay. My next one is Hockenberg. Hockenberg's like revenge plan, or Hockenberg's like fucking plan continues. We need to see the Hockenberg continue. We have to see.
Yeah, we have to.
We have to see what happened during the time jump during those couple hours where Hockenberg was. Yeah. Like, how the fuck did he get from there to
Grin,
stabbing Benjamin?
I feel like that's a bit too obvious. Let's go a step further. How about Hockenberg and Seti dynamic? Because we know for a fact we have to see a Hockenberg. We know this. We see him in the Balsamilko body in chapter 401. So of course we have to see that. It's way too important. But it's way too much of a given.
What if we say he baits Benjamin, which is how Benjamin ended up getting hit by the damn
TSK-17,
TSK-17. Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but I wanna go for the really far-fetched one. Yeah, the Hockenberg Seti dynamic. Cause
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because listen, we needed to see it, man. It's been dangled in front of us since chapter 350. One of the biggest mysteries of the arc. Here's another one, Gren. Unma and Dwazel.
Yeah, I want to get there real quick. Yeah. My next one that I want to put out is PT and Nobunaga pull up.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh, bro, there's so much we could talk about. Like, there's the Rihan stuff where now Rihan's about to make moves onto Beppa. We could potentially write more Zhang Li coin shenanigans because we still know nothing about what the hell the coins can really do. Like, what kind of powers they give. We know more about how the coins work, but the real important stuff, the kind of powers you get, beyond us. There's still well, actually no, we already have it here, actual combat. But you know the stuff.
My next one.
Yeah.
I know what my next one is, which is well, I actually know my next two.
Yeah, go for it.
My first one is was it Lynch and Heinrich?
Lynch is dead, so you're probably talking about Zakura.
Yeah, and Heinrich pull up on Bono. And then the obvious one, my favorite one, Mission Impossible Krollo.
Yeah.
Because I have to put Mission Impossible Krollo there.
Let me type in Bono death. Because the death flags for him are so high. Because here's the thing. Even if Henrik and Zakuro take their group, take their pathway up to the higher tiers, it may not be them that does this guy in, because this guy is in close proximity with Hisoka or Lisoka, and he might die in the final chapter of this stretch. Because if you guys remember, Togashi kind of showed us like little snippets, and he has like this the blood sound effect, and with a character that he has like these sleeves, and people have theorized that this person looks like Hisoka. So potentially, Hisoka dog walks this guy off screen. Or we get to see a brief little fight and he just kills him. Like, we finally get to see how strong this Hisoka is after all those power-ups.
What's your next one?
Let me see. There's Zhang Li coin stuff. There's Rihan stuff.
Do we have Zhang Li coin stuff? Sorry.
No.
Yeah, no, we need to put that.
Yeah, we'll put that here.
Zhang Li coin series. Zhang Li coin.
Yeah. Because, again, we know nothing about what the hell the coins can really do. And it feels like we're slowly we're learning more and more and more about those coins. There's also heavy Zhang Li story going on because this man moonwalked, smooth criminaled out of tier 1.
He really did. Koban Toba fraud.
Yeah.
Koban Toba fraud.
Oh, yeah. Do I type that? Koban Toba fraudulence?
You want? This man escaped under... Well, okay, that would technically come under the stuff from the last two chapters.
Yeah, like deaths.
Which is... Like... I want to say... Ooh!
Yeah, what's up, Grin?
Beyond and Benjamin's kid details.
Okay.
Illegitimate heir details.
Yeah. We have to learn about this. This is crazy stuff. The letters. There's also the deal between Unma and Dwazil. Let me make this. Unma makes moves. Because we now know that she's playing favorites. Hold on. Because, okay, I'm not going to say anything when it comes to Seti because illegitimate heir details. And he's most likely illegit, so it just involves him. So any lore about that aspect of Seti's character would just fall under that.
Correct.
Yeah. How I want to learn, because this is something we need to learn. Unma and Dwazil deal.
Yes.
We have to learn about this. It's way too important. How and why did this happen?
What do I want to put next? Refueling station.
This is one of the crackhead ones. This is like a super Grin crackhead one, man. Grin is looking ahead to 3 weeks. Oh yeah, there's another thing I completely forgot. That why didn't we do this? Kakin lore.
Yeah.
Because
more Kakin lore.
Listen, more Kakin lore is good Kakin lore. We learned so much in that last stretch, and it still feels like there's more to learn.
We only got 4 spaces left, so I have to really cook on these last 4.
Yeah. Because.
Let me see.
Okay. Let's go through the chapters because we already talked 401. 402 involves the stuff with Kaiser, the stuff with Zhang Li, the stuff with Tubepa, and with the
405
and with
and 406. We did 405 and 406.
Yeah.
With Mission Impossible Crollo and Bono Death.
Yeah. And extra Kakin lore.
To 409 is just Morena stuff.
Yeah, Morena Borkson subplot. Yeah. We could add that here.
Okay. So what?
Yeah, what would we write for that? Grin, real quick.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's go.
Why not? We'll bench that one.
You want to bench it?
That one because I want to bench it.
Okay.
I want to bench it. I want to bench it. I love my guy Leorio, but I don't want to bench it. It's too important.
Yeah.
I want to say Moreno's hideout gets discovered.
Yeah, because right now, Finks and Phaeton are pulling up to them, which also falls under the actual combat, potentially major character death.
And martial law is currently going on.
Yeah, true. Yeah, this is gonna be hype, because we're not gonna talk about Borks and stuff like in here. It's a given. Borks and characterization. Maybe she kills someone, or maybe she starts leveling
it's fine.
up.
It's not that important.
Yeah,
it's not that important. Yeah, it's whatever.
We're not gonna write anything about Morena.
That all comes under the Morena stuff anyway. So
yeah.
It's not too.
Yeah, like where is it? What do
I want to cook here?
Because we need to be careful, bro. We only got 3 left, and it feels like there's still more. There's still more we could do. Because we talked about 402, 403. Zhang Li stuff, Hulkenberg stuff.
The only ones that are super important are stuff from 410, which we know that Zhang Li escaped. We don't know how he escaped. That's important.
Nasubi. Because we have not seen this man since chapter 382.
Yeah. What about Nasubi?
Nasubi chapter. How about that?
Nasubi chapter. Yeah. Sure.
Because
do we want to add? Do you think the Grand Chamberlain stuff comes under Mission Impossible Chrono?
Yeah. Morrissey. Hold on, Grant. Oh. Bro, because there's still also because with granted we might not get this in this stretch, but the stretch afterward, where Zhang Li has to continue his conversation with Onyor, where Onyor said, "I'm gonna look information up for what happened back in the Cupcake era, and Nasubi's Bubblicious' competition, and I'll give you information on that." So we have to eventually learn more about the Bubblicious lore. So, but I'll still keep it as Nasubi chapter.
How about this? You could put both of them under Nasubi. Say Nasubi and previous Succession War instead of Nasubi chapter. Nasubi and previous Succession War.
Okay.
Or Nasubi / previous Succession War. Not the Mickey Mouse Cupcake era.
Shit, it's too small. Cupcake.
Just
there we go. Cupcake era.
Okay. Oh, 2 more. You go. Let me think. What do you want?
There we go.
What do you want? Next one. You do the next one. Let me figure out what I want to do for the last one.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on. Let me just type this again. Bubblicious. Fuck, it's too small. God damn it. I can't slander him yet. Nasubi chapter. Cupcake. Damn.
It'll when we print it, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or save it as PDF, it'll be fine. Just say Nasubi. Just Cupcake. Nasubi Cupcake era is fine.
There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh man. So we have to see more of Nasubi. We already wrote illegitimate heir details.
Yep.
We could potentially make Benjamin characterization, but we'll hold off on that because we got to be careful here. The previous chapters before that were the card game.
I think the last 2 should be big plotting.
Big, yeah, massive. Ones. Massive. We already have the stuff with SETI. We already have stuff involving Zhang Li with the coins. Man. We already have stuff with Bono's death.
I mean, a Dark Waters announcement would be crazy, wouldn't it? That would be nuts. Yeah. You want to do Dark Waters weather announcement would be nuts.
You want to go for it?
No, that would only happen once we got to the refueling station. Ooh. Wait, hold on. Yeah. The last time we learned about the refueling station, we learned something. It was really, really small, right? But didn't we learn something? Oh, it was so long ago. Bro, was it in the last batch? Not this batch, not the batch we just read, but the previous batch.
You talk about the delivery service?
No. Oh man, I theorized something. Hold on, let me see if I can find it in our DMs.
Yeah, go for it.
About like the hidden base in for the refueling station. Like we learned stuff about the refueling point. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find what we learned about the refueling point.
We have the stuff. Okay, we have the stuff with Frauderus. We have the stuff with Kaiser. We have the stuff with Melody. We already put stuff in for Seti. Stuff with Zhangli. I mean, we already put stuff with Silent Majority. There's also the stuff with Rihan and Tubepa. Benjamin characterization, possibly. I'm trying to think. And then 407 to 410 was basically the card game.
Users don't necessarily support it being possible to stop the colonization project. I'm trying to remember what. V5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to put V5.
Just the V5.
V5, sorry, how much do we know about the V5?
We know that they're basically the world leaders of the biggest countries that govern the world from the shadows.
And that's it, right? We don't know anything else about them?
No. They're pretty low key. They've been in the background kind of pulling the strings.
V5 stocks would be great.
You want to type that?
Yeah, sure. We could put V5 stocks and we can figure out what to put.
There's also the button.
What? The button?
Yeah. Remember the button that Kaiser gave to Steiner? Where in case a military coup happens, press this button.
Yeah, he's like, in case martial law happens, press this goddamn button. I feel like that's better. Put that one.
All right.
Put the Kaiser button. Yeah.
Because what that button does, beyond me. It could be some crazy nonsense. Where do you have... We already put Cocking lore. Timeline... Extra timeline lore would be fire, but I doubt it.
Okay, right now my head's stuck between a few things.
Yeah.
It's stuck between Beyond Netero flashback, Phantom Troop in Cocking flashback. Or who are the people Beyond Netero? Like the people like where Ging and Preston are currently with the submarine and shit.
But that would involve what was it? The Jing and Pariston one.
That is true. I'm trying to think, what else can I put here for this last one? So many ideas.
Yeah. Like, listen, guys. You're looking at this right now, but this puts into perspective that even just 5 of these could be made. Could be, like, struck. That would be a peak stretch. Because look at this insanity you're looking at and tell me that this is not godlike.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. All of this is cooking. Like,
yeah.
Kaiser, like Phantom Troop in Cocking would
like
be
this
goated.
is 49.
Beyond Netero in Flashback would be goated. V5 stocks would be goated.
Like
but
this is
Dark Waters.
Yeah. Like this is 49. This is 49 right here. 49 squares. Just imagine getting like 10 to 15 of these, like actually crossed out. That would be a godlike stretch.
Okay. You know what I want the last one to?
Yeah.
It's agenda, and it's simply for me as an agenda.
Okay. Probably some Prolo stuff or Zhangli stuff.
Well.
what is
probably DC agenda.
Okay. Don't freaks.
Gyro agenda. Basically, anything Dark Waters or DC relevant, like anything, even a small mention, agenda. DC agenda. DC agenda. DC agenda. That's it. DC agenda. That you give me a small name drop of anything in DC in this next 10 pack, boom, done. Top tier chapter of all time.
Dude, Grin, imagine if we get like a Netero, Isaac Netero lore, Isaac Netero flashback. Like Beyond talks about his dad in some way. Like, oh my god.
DC agenda is crazy. DC agenda is it's a crazy way to finish it.
Guys, just think about it. This is 49 squares right here. Just imagine getting 10 to 15 of these crossed out. That would be a generational godlike stretch. Just look at this insane stuff in here.
Everything, a single thing we put here is absolutely fucking nutty. And by the way, Hart, we put two things outside, which was Leorio sighting, Sunday of a Blind Man, and did we put Nasubi coin? Okay, we did put
we did the coins, yeah.
Okay, coin. So Leorio chapter and Sunday of a Blind Man benched is also benched.
Yeah.
But this is a generational
exactly. Like here's the thing. Even if we do get a Leorio sighting, a Leorio chapter, and it's not, even though the fact that it's not in here, the fact that we considered it, if we get a Leorio thing, like a Leorio sighting, Leorio chapter, while we do get more of this stuff that we put here, godlike, generational stretch.
Nah, you give me any 5 or give me any 7. Hell, you give me 5 out of these 49. It's a
goated.
It's a god tier ball.
Goated.
But you give me the same amount of things crossed out as the previous volume part.
That's another thing, man. Because the thing with a Togashi chapter is that this man can be gone for several years, but the fact that you get 10 chapters more than makes up for the wait, man. Because so much happens in a single chapter, and you can talk about what happens in a single chapter, 5 to 10 chapters, for years, for months. Like, look at the stretch that we had. We still talk about that shit to this day. We never stop talking about that stretch, man. Some of those chapters are just so mind-bogglingly generational. And we're potentially getting a stretch that surpasses that.
If you guys have different predictions in your list, let us know in the video.
And another
to
thing,
recap.
I know, like,
go ahead.
There's also other stuff that we didn't put in here, like Rihan stuff, Tubeba stuff, stuff involving characterization, like Benjamin. Those things are a given, but it's only going to enhance the stretch on top of the stuff that we already wrote here, because those things are a given, so there was no need for us to put them here, because that's easy stuff to cross out.
Okay, so next. So, to recap, Titanic, Cocky Prince Flashback, Kurapika Learns of Phantom Troop, Phantom Troop Fortunes, Guardian Info, Melody Kill for Knowing Too Much, Sonata of Darkness, Bill Flashback, Wobble Awakens, Ging in Pariston, Camilla Comes Back, Actual Combat, Silent Majority Reveal, Cast System Stocks, Time Jump, Hisoka vs. Illumi, Nasubi Devil Hand Shenanigans, Beyond and Nasubi Deal, major character death, Bobby Mina, Serenage N, Delivery Service, Tyson makes an alliance of some sort, 14 Coffins, Tree of Kakin, Requiem 2, Seiko Death, Illumi Kalto Bonding, Kurapika Learns the Truth, Kurta Massacre Flashback, Donjin Subplot, Beyond Neteros Convo, Salakov Gets Folded, Kaiser Bates Frauderus, Frauderus Awakens to Thuggerus, Hockenberg and Seti, Phantom Troop and Nobunaga Pull Up, Mission Impossible Corollo, Bono Death, Shangli Coin Stocks, Illegitimate Heirs, Uma Dwazil Deal, Refueling Station, Kaki Lore, Morena's Hideout Gets Discovered, Nisubi's Cupcake Geta, Kaiser Button, and DC Agenda.
Yeah.
This is a god tier.
Yeah. And again, we left things out. Like, we didn't put Nen lore in here. We decided not to. Honestly,
jeez,
that's how much greatness there's going on. We didn't put any stuff with Kenny Wang, potentially him fighting Nobu. There's also the stuff where the Haley members are now, like, remember, in chapter 405, we got that ending chapter where they're, like, now level 52, and it's like, yo. And they said, yo, let's go hunt down some Mafia. But, again, that's just an actual combat or major character death. I think another thing that we had in the OG one was minor character death.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course we benched that.
We crossed that out. Crossed it out. Yeah, crossed it out. Nah, dude. If you give me anything in this, and it is god tier. Like,
dude,
anything.
Honestly, with the fact of how much that we actually surprisingly crossed out in that last stretch, and how some of these look even more likely than ever before. Because if this was last time, and Grin suggested 14 coffins, I'd laugh at this man. But now I can't laugh at this man because it might happen. It might legitimately happen. I'd laugh at this man if he said Beyond Netero Convo like he did last time. I'd laugh at this man. He'd be laughed out the door. But now I can't laugh at him because Beyond Netero is important. Man.
There's, like... this is so, like, out there. Our list is, like, so out there, and there's no, like, guarantee that you're gonna get any of this. Mm-hmm. But if we get
But this, like... when you're looking at a pure Hunter x Hunter head, and it's, like, the most insane... This is what a fan would want. Like, this is the ultimate checklist, the ultimate wish list, you know, for a purebred fan who just wants peak, just wants greatness. Like, anyone who would see this would be like, bro, I need this. Give me at least 10, 15 to 20 of these, and my life is yours, Togashi. And it would just be peak.
This is absolutely nutty. Because if you think about it, like, bruh, some of these are so out there that if we get any one of these chapters to happen, it's like a generational stretch.
100%. And but last stretch was generational. Like, there were some things that we didn't write in the previous bingo, that ended up happening. Like, for example, we got Morena stuff. Like, yeah. And that just redefined her character. And it you know, of course we had Kakin lore. But, like, man, there could be some things that we get in this stretch that's not even written in this bingo, and it would just be insane. Bro, January, man, it's going to be hype. It's going to be peak.
Bro, the chapters can't get here soon enough. Guys, if you guys have any predictions, please just put it in the comments or, you know, DM Heart on, like,
yeah,
I don't know, Twitter or Instagram, somewhere, wherever you can reach this man. I cannot wait for this next stretch of chapters.
Bro, me neither. We've been waiting too long. We've been talking about, we've been theorizing, we've been discussing that 10 stretch. Bro, I can't even count how many times we talked about it. Like, to death. Like, yes. Way too many times.
Bro, give me any one of these and it's god tier. Because look, we're almost at the Palace Evasion segment like the equivalent of the Palace Invasion segment for Succession War. I like how the Palace Invasion had like build up for Chimera Ant. We're almost at that point where
the boiling point.
We're almost at the tipping. We're almost at the tipping point where
it's just chaos. Yeah, just pure chaos. Like we're now done with the setup phase of the arc. We're now tipping past the 50% mark, the halfway point of the story. And of course, if you guys remember, the Palace Invasion segment in the story was 5 volumes. This is an arc that's way bigger, way more characters, a far bigger setting. It could just because we're saying we're getting to the climax, that doesn't really mean anything because the climax could just be like 70 to 80 chapters, considering how much bigger this is compared to the Palace Invasion.
Yeah.
And it would be like the greatest 70 to 80 stretch of all time.
Because we have subplots within subplots within subplots, and several like different arcs and different storylines that were set up in like
beginnings of the story.
The beginnings of the story basically coming to their conclusion and wrapping up here. So there's like potential for characters we didn't even expect to clash head to head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could you imagine, like, I don't know, one of the princes randomly walks up on Phaeton?
Bro, we talked about this. Like, what if Crollo meets Zhangli? Zhangli gives him a coin. And it's like, bro, like, the character interactions. It's like the ultimate fan service of all time.
Morena? Like, what would happen if Pariston meets Morena?
Yeah,
how would that unfold?
Yeah, how the hell would that go?
There's potential for just random characters meet. Like,
Grin, like, I remember years back, man, where I think not even years, like, this goes way back, before Togashi first came back on Twitter.
First even made his Twitter. Just caught up.
Where we talked about. Caught up. Yeah, when you caught up. And you told me, or we theorized in the dark corners of the night about how we could potentially get like a three-way good, bad, the ugly Kurapika, Crollo, Seti.
Yeah.
Or Hisoka and Beyond That's all in one damn room. And it's like, dude, there's too much Conquerors hockey in that room alone.
This is what I'm saying. Like, bro, there's too
much. Like, imagine that page, dog. Imagine that page, guys. Imagine seeing all of these characters in one single page. One single panel. You don't, bro. Come on, bro. It's too much.
There's too much going on right now. Like, if you have all these characters meet up together, how would some certain character interactions happen when you put them in specific circumstances? Like, it's amazing. It is too incredible to think about.
Like,
because each one of them has their own like personality, their own agenda, their own reasons to be here, but there's potential for character interactions and growth and like introspection that we as leaders are not prepared for. Mm-hmm. Like, we are not ready for.
It's crazy.
Certain things to happen.
Like, this feels like endgame story, even though we have the DC arc and the Gyro arc eventually. But man, this feels like the penultimate arc. Like, this feels like the penultimate arc, the endgame story. It's like the equivalent of One Piece right now in its final saga, where every character is like marching up to battle for the One Piece. And, you know, that's where everything concludes, all the subplots, all the characters, where everything coincides that's been building up. This is the equivalent of that for Hunter, where you have story arcs and subplots that have been set up since Hunter Exam and Yorkno and Greed Island all coming together. And stuff that we never even expected. It's insane.
Give me something, please, Togashi. Any one of these, even a single prediction.
Yeah.
Will be peak. If this man instead says, you know what? No, I'm not going to do a single one of this, and then just throws the entire arc on its head in the first chapter, that could be nuts. Imagine he says everything you've ever been predicting up to now, throw it out the window because you don't know what you're talking about, because this is actually what it is. And then he just flips the entire arc on his head.
He could do that, man. I mean, like, shit, look at what he did in the previous stretch. Like, the Beyond stuff and the Cocky and Diddy parties and the Crollo chapter. Like, legit just redefined and changed the arc. And then 410 happened. And it's like he redefined and changed the arc yet again because Now you don't even have princes that are in tier 1 anymore. They've dropped down to the lower tiers. So now the Game of Thrones has now went down to the lower tiers. It's insanity. Like, it's no longer confined there. Troop members are going up, princes are going down. Man. Grant, I have a question for you, and this is for the fans as well. The listeners. Tell them what your experience with Hunter x Hunter is. Because these people don't really know that much about you in particular.
Hunter is like a addiction for me. It's obsessive. When I started reading Hunter, so when I started reading Hunter, I had just actually finished Shigarui, and then also caught up to World Trigger before I started Hunter. Mm-hmm. And then, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I caught up to Hunter in like a week.
Yeah.
Almost a week. I would have caught up to Hunter in 5 days from chapter 1 if I didn't have a fever.
Yeah.
I actually read the entire, what is it called? I think the first half of Chimera Ant. Like, from the end of Greed Island all the way to...
I remember, man. It's so generational. Like...
In like a day?
Yeah. Like, basically, Grin, when I put him on Hunter... So, okay, we go a little bit back. Because Grin had no experience with Hunter besides watching a bit of the 2011. But that... How long ago was that? Like, years ago.
That was years ago. I didn't even watch it. I saw clips.
Yeah.
I never actually got into Hunter. My
Grin
first experience was technically through the manga.
Yeah. So Grin had like the most authentic, like, experience. He got to experience the kite stuff. He was like, bro, this is way different from that like even the clips I remembered. And so it was pretty much the ultimate blind read through. This man Grin, I remember, man, when he saw Volume 8, he was like, yo, who is this goat? He saw that like the first sighting of Prolo. And you know how it is with Hunter, man. You only talk about Chimera Ant, you hype that up. So Grin was going to the arc not knowing anything about Yorknu, and that ended up becoming his favorite arc at the time. And it completely blindsided him, the troop, Prolo, everything. And he was like, yo, why don't people talk about this? And of course, I also meant talk about Succession, because that's my personal favorite arc of all time. Grin read up from Hunter exam, finished Yorknu. He read like the first the first half of Greed Island, fell sick for a couple of days, and then once he got back, because the peak was so much, his body burned out. I'm convinced the peak was too much for him. The East It Is page, I still remember this guy's reaction to the East It Is moment. Generational.
That will live in my head forever. That was such a peak moment. I am a sucker for mystery and suspense and great character writing,
crime noir thriller,
plot twists and stuff. And Yorknu had all of it and more. It had all of it and more.
Bro,
it was a generational run of chapters.
Yeah,
but I fell sick, and then I came back. And then I read through all of Greed Island, and
dude,
I think before the past invasion.
Yeah, you stopped right at the begin. You finished up to volume 24
in a day.
Yeah, Grin, you experienced. Bro, think about it, man. You finished the dodgeball match. You saw Hisoka come back. You got more Krollo stuff. You got the gyro stuff. You got Kite coming back. Kite dying. You got to see the Royal Guards. You got to see the King. You got to see a whole bunch of fights. You got to learn more about Nen. You got to see the gradual build-up from the manga version of Chimera, because people complain about the anime version because it's too slow for them. And then you stopped right at the Palace Invasion, where once it feels like you get to the Palace Invasion, the writing of Togashi just evolves. It's like, once he gets to that point, it's just pure smoke from then to now.
Yeah.
Man.
That was non-stop, like, just heat. Back-to-back fights.
Yeah.
So many different types of fights. So much, like, UP was a great villain. I didn't expect UP to be as good as he is.
Yeah.
He was great.
The medium that scene, the Komugi stuff, Netero greatness, like the Netero lore.
The
stuff going on with Gon,
you know nothing about the infinite darkness in the
bottomless mouth of the human heart, bro. Bro, that scene hits so hard with the stuff we learn about Beyond and SETI.
That was absolute peak. I remember flipping the page and seeing that double page spread, and I was like, nah, bro, this shit
that fight is so goated in the manga, man. That Netero medium fight. And that's the only time you see him scrap.
We got through all of that. Then I got to the election arc.
Yeah, bro.
And read through all of election fairly quickly. And I was so confused with with Aluka and the way Aluka's powers work.
That's another thing with Grin.
Giving me more context.
That's another thing with Grin, where when he got into Hunter, he was under because he was expecting like, yo, when am I gonna get like the adventure element, the lore element.
I was like, hey, yo.
Because so far the story hasn't been that.
I started reading Hunter and I was like, okay, this feels like an adventure manga where I can go to a new country or continent, fight monsters, and there's an adventure aspect. Not a single arc in Hunter has been adventure centric at all.
And he's been wondering, and I had to keep silent, man. And then he got the DC spread at the very, very end of the election stretch. And bro, oh my god!
Gon and King are on the tree, and he's talking.
And then my boy learns. Of course, he gets the conclusion to he gets to see Jing finally, and he just pulls up randomly. You get to see Paris, and you get to see the Zodiacs. You get to see the conclusion of Killua's arc. Gon goes home. And then he sees Beyond Netero. Oh my god.
Absolute legendary. I got there and I was like, okay, cool. Okay, when's the next chapter? And the heart was like, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. That's all there is. I was like, what do you mean?
I remember my boy reading through Succession War for the first time, man. Because it's like the addiction grows stronger. That's the thing with Hunter, man. The more you go through it, the worse the addiction gets. Because he's been this man ever since York knew. I remember, when am I going to see Crollo? Am I ever going to see Crollo again? Am I ever going to see Kurapika again? Because they just go MIA for hundreds of chapters. And then he just randomly sees Crollo pull up on Hisoka in Heaven's Arena. And he's just losing his mind, bro. Grin even told me this. That even though he's experiencing this in 2022, he could still feel the hype that comes with each chapter as if he was there week to week, reading that fight.
The pacing was phenomenal there during that stretch.
And it's funny, man, because the previous volume, the volume 33 stretch, cooked Grin. That alone took him 3 hours to read. And it was one of the most dense volumes, but it's one of the most goated volumes because of how much is in there.
Yeah. All the other volumes are read by really quick. 33 cooked me. It took me 3 hours to read only that volume, but that was nonstop. It was absolute heat. Very good. Very, very dense. Didn't expect it to be as dense as it was. But without that, I wouldn't have appreciated a lot of the stuff that we got afterwards.
Beyond Princess being established, the amount of Nen lore we learned, the amount of DC stuff, the Don't Freaks, the stuff with Netero, Zig Zoldyck, just getting to see the calamities, man. And then,
I read you made me read the Kurapika
Volume 0, yeah.
Volume 0, which I ended up reading. I was like, great. And then I asked, when's the next chapter? And you said, that's it. And I was like, what do you mean that's it? And I was like, yeah, that's it.
Grin was so depressed.
I remember I was like, hey, yo, imagine somewhere like early next year, you just get announced, and he's like,
and I'm like, bro, shut up, bro, shut up. This man ain't coming back. We don't know when he's coming back because this man's been gone for years, and that's the thing with Hunter, man. Like, I knew that I'm putting Grin on the Pandora's box. I'm potentially hurting Grin, giving him all this hope, giving him all this peak greatness. And he might never ever see conclusions to these stories ever again. He might never learn any of these things.
Yeah.
But
and then literally, lo and behold,
later,
a couple months after I caught up, the account is created.
Yeah.
And we're just like, what the hell?
We were losing our minds. Like, is this real?
I was like, who's posting?
And then we get to see the page of the tree, bro. Oh my god.
I was like, bro, who's posting Hunter panels? And I remember Hart being like, nah, it's probably a fraud account. I'm like, no, what if it's actually Togashi? I'm like, nah, shut up. And then the internet
blew up, man.
Jeez.
My god, bro. Like,
I couldn't have caught up at a better time. I really couldn't have caught up at a better time.
And then when we finally did get the stretch, and my guy got to see the Phantom Troop flashbacks. And again, this man is a Crollo fanboy. Like, because the Phantom Troop, we know nothing about the Phantom Troop back then. They were complete mystery. We knew nothing about Meteor City.
So the reason I like Crollo a lot, for context, right? I am a sucker for villain characters who aren't like mindlessly evil, like two-sided villains. Like, I love villain characters that have a sense of like a morally ambiguous like angle to them, which is the reason why I like Lelouch a lot. Even though he's a protagonist, he's also technically the villain for Code Geass. This is the reason I like in Yu Yu Hakusho. I like Sensui a lot. There's a lot of different characters that I'm like, these are the type of characters that are goated to me. Like, yes, there's a lot of like other characters that like I'm okay with villains being just villains for the sake of, for sake of hating, and those type of characters can be well written, but it's these guys, dude. It's
the villain leader.
It's the
charismatic villain leader, man. Especially if they're very mysterious.
Like, they're not just evil for the sake of being evil. They believe they're doing the right thing, and life pushed them down a path where this is their only way of proceeding forward. And those type of characters are goated. They're both charismatic. They believe in the purpose that they're doing is right, and they're like they're heroes in their own sense. It's amazing. I love characters like that.
Man. I think I've never seen you as happy as the 395, 397 stretch. I've never seen you as happy as that.
Bruh.
Like,
it's because at the end of 397, this man does the unthinkable. He puts the exact same panel as we got in my favorite chapter or favorite like set of chapters during the York New, where there's just there and he just does a one-to-one callback, and I'm like, there's no way.
Bro,
there's no way.
Like that one chapter 102 where you get to see the panel of Crollo throwing the cassette around, and then he actually continues that in 395. Man, my god. And then the volume 0 like callbacks too, where that connects, and it's like, man, people barely read volume 0, and I'm so glad I had my boy read it because it hits so much harder.
There was like those are some peak moments. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's like legendary tier like read through experiences for me.
It was literally one of those you had to be there moments in this whole arc. Like, when you look at this arc so far, Gren, these 10 chapters that we had, peak, generational. But it's like, if you look at the story, the chapters, like, as it comes out week to week, like, imagine if we didn't have these hiatuses. And then you just look at these chapters as if we could experience them week to week. Imagine if Togashi was putting out these chapters week to week with no breaks, and you were experiencing this from 395 to 410, week to week, no break. It would be godlike. Generational.
If this man was dropping it week to week, I feel like we'd have been at Dark Continent by now.
Like Grin,
we'd have been at Dark
imagine like experiencing week to week, and we were like, okay, we got this like insane Beyond chapter, and then a few weeks ago we just experienced that Phantom Troop flashback. Like it's mind-boggling.
I can't. That would be insane. That's too much peak.
Man, like a thing with Grin is here's that Frollo is his favorite villain of all time. He was his favorite villain by York knew. Like the gap between Frollo Sensu and Lelouch is huge. Like even back then, once he had that Phantom flashback, there's no catching up for those guys. It's over. Their stories are done. Frollo still has more gas in the tank. He could rise up and become an even better villain. He's already a generational character.
I love a lot. Like these are my favorite type of characters. And the other thing is, reading Hunter has been a very interesting experience. I'm not the type of person who really who says, "Oh, this is the greatest manga of all time," or "This is." I enjoy reading a large variety of different types.
Grin's open-minded.
Yeah, I like reading One Piece. I read MHA. I read Hunter. I currently reading World Trigger with Heart. I read Blue Lock. I read Gachiakuta. I read a bunch of different things. And I love well-written characters, but I love world building and lore more. That's my bag. You give me lore or world building about, oh, this is how things are set up, or this is something that happened back in the day, which is why the reason they exist currently. Like that's my type of chapter.
Yeah.
I don't really care too much about fights. Fights are awesome. Obviously, it's amazing to look at the panels and stuff, and there's like really good characterization between certain person's ideology against clash towards another person's ideology. But all of those are amazing. But I live for the lore, the history, the world building. Those are my favorite things. Which is why when the Dark Continent was announced, I'm like, what do you mean? The entirety of Hunter has been inside a small-ass pond inside a bigger continent. I was like, how does this make sense? What are you talking about?
Bro, the fact that the Chimera ants are just literal insects to what the hell is over there. And then the Don't Freak stuff, that this man has been writing this book for 300 plus years, potentially even longer because he finished one book. And if one book took him 300 years and he's still writing it, imagine how much longer he's been writing the other book. So this man's been living over there for thousands of years. Like, it's insane. Like, this is what we're talking about, man. Like, the possibilities, the lore, there's still so much left to learn about Hunter, this world. And we're still learning more to this day about the old world in Kakin and timeline lore. Like, there's so much imagination with Togashi. Like, this is like the most exciting Hunter's ever been.
Also, small announcement for anybody who's interested, but at some point in the near future, obviously we will still be covering the Hunter, chapters as they drop. Me and Hart were thinking, maybe not immediately, but soon, definitely soon, we do plan on actually reading through, or I've never read this, but I know it's a coded series. We actually do plan on reading through the Gray Man series.
Pandora's box. Like.
And I know I'm just going to read through it and suffer because I have to catch
up. The only caveat is the fact that it's still ongoing. It's not on some, bleak hiatus like Hunter was when Grin first went on it. That's another thing I forgot to mention. When I first put this man on Hunter and he finished it, this man was on such Hunter brain rot. The man told me in a VC from his mouth, I'll never talk about Hunter ever again. Me and Katekyo were on that VC. This is on the mayor's server back in the day. And this man, every VC from that point on, he gets yapping to me to my ear about Hunter, kept making theories, kept theorizing about the 14 coffins, Great Tree of Kakin, Zhang Li coins, Sunday the Blind Man. Dude kept yapping my ear off.
What can I say? The problem is I love crafting theories, And once my brain picks up on a small idea, it'll just
my guy never let it go.
It'll just keep going until
it's so funny
just keep going until I can't stop. It
it's the funniest
this is what happens,
thing.
not just for Hunter. This is what happens to all CDs I need that I thoroughly enjoy. Like
it was strong. It was the strongest.
I do the exact same thing about One Piece.
Yeah.
With another friend of mine that we talk about One Piece, and every day when I read something, I can't help but theorize stuff.
I think it was the worst when it comes to Hunter, man, because Hunter was on hiatus, and
it was. I got nothing. I had nothing until it was confirmed that I was going to get the next volume.
And this is like human psychology. When you don't have something and it's not there for you, you want it more. That's the thing with Hunter. Because it was on break and it was on hiatus with no sign of it ever returning, this man's fever dreams, this man's feverishness was at its strongest compared to One Piece, where it's just a matter of waiting. He gets chapters week to week, He could theorize all he wants, but he knows eventually he'll get it. But with Hunter, he doesn't know if he could get it or not. And because of where the story was and where it was developing and where the story was at that time, with the stuff with Seti, the stuff with Hulkenberg, the Mafia fight happening at the very end.
It was a sense of like desperation. I want to say because there was no confirmation whether the series
and the potential with the story at that time.
And there was a lot of potential for the story. There was a lot of things that were set up, and then that was it. And I got nothing. As somebody who like runs D&D games and writes stuff, there's nothing I hate more than an unfinished story.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when there's like a lot of good material that's been set up, and there's nothing to it. Like I absolutely hate unfinished stories. Not because they're not good or anything, but because just as a reader, I just can't deal with it. My brain will just keep thinking of, what could happen? What could happen here? What would this character do? What would that? Yeah. And so as a result, if when I caught up, there was nothing. There was no hint of it coming back. It was killing me, man. It was absolutely killing me,
dude. The fact that we were less than 10 chapters away from a Fan and True flashback, but we didn't know it yet. Insane.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
And we were less than 20 chapters away from getting Crazy Beyond stuff.
Yep.
This will give you guys an inkling of how bad it's going to be for the both of us. It's going to be even worse for Grin when we read D. Grayman and catch up to it. Because D. Grayman, from what I know, because my IRL friend, he's more of a D. Grayman fan than me. He's been telling me for years to read D. Grayman. It's his favorite series, like how Hunter is to me my favorite of all time. D. Grayman is his favorite of all time. He loves D. Grayman. The mystery, the lore, the world building, everything. It's more of a mystery kind of story compared to, your typical action battle shonen.
And I love that shit.
Yeah. It's like that's pretty much what D. Grayman's bread and butter is. Mystery and lore and world building. And I know that the story gets very complex. Insane. But man, it's gonna suck when we read it. But we're gonna eat it up, man. We're gonna enjoy it when that time comes, man. I know it's gonna suck.
If I can wait once a month or once every 2 months for a World Trigger chapter, I can wait that long for another D. Grayman chapter.
Man, listen, it's so weird, man. Because with Hunter, the wait sucks. Of course, we wait a whole year, potentially 2 years. We don't know when it comes to this.
But once you finish eating, there's a lot to digest.
Yeah,
and it kind of keeps you satisfied until the next volume.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's tougher to somehow wait for a series that you expect month to month because you have this sort of expectations. Whereas with Hunter, you expect 10 chapters and it's like, okay, I have to wait for however long. It's so weird, man, that it's somehow tougher to wait for a series that you get on some sort of basis, like a month, maybe every 2 or 3 months, like every 4 or 5 months, compared to Hunter, where you only get 10 chapters and you have to wait for a year or two. It's tough.
I think it's specifically because Hunter has a lot to digest, even in like 10 chapters or a single volume. There's a lot of material and a lot of moving parts.
You have the expectation. When it comes to those other series.
But there's a lot of moving parts because of like things that have already been set up previously.
Yeah.
A single volume of Succession Wars 10 chapters has enough like material and characterization and things to speculate and theorize on that it kind of carries you over until the next volume.
Yeah.
In a lot of other series, that's not the case.
Especially World Trigger. Like,
oh man, World Trigger's too simple.
Bro, it's like it's such a shame with World Trigger, man. It has such insane potential. I remember when I first put Grin on World Trigger. He was theorizing and all that, but eventually the fire burned out within this man. Because the month-to-month wait was just killing this guy. And he was in the midst of Phase 1. And he's been reading that with me since 2021. And he's had Hunter, One Piece, and Blue Lock, Gotcha Kuda to pretty much hold him over. And without Hunter, of course he has, like, now we got Phase 2, we got the potentially, not potentially, it's been confirmed, the World Trigger reboot anime.
I actually liked Phase 1. I just hated that I had to wait like 2-3 months for a single chapter of 19 pages where there really isn't too much.
Yeah.
There wasn't too much going on. And that was one of my biggest like gripes with the first phase of this of the away missions for World Trigger, is that specifically is that there really isn't that much going on in this story.
Yeah.
There's nothing for me to theorize about, nothing to number crunch, nothing to analyze, because there isn't. There just isn't anything. There isn't any material to digest.
It's more of a character-driven arc. Yeah, more characterization. I mean, yeah, we learned we learned a bit more about Border, like by the very end of the Phase 1 stretch, like specifically about the orphanage. We learned like the biggest part was the Hata stuff.
Yeah, that was it. It was a single chapter, or 2 chapters rather, that basically talked about Hata as a character for World Trigger. But yeah. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is a Hunter video. We should be talking about Hunter, but yeah.
Yeah, like that just puts into perspective like the journey that Grin's been on, man. 'Cause, man, like I told you, once I put this man, he told me, I'll never talk about Hunter again. This man pulled a Vegeta. I will never fight again. And lo and behold, he keeps talking to me about it. He keeps talking to me about it.
Yeah,
but I don't mind it, bro. I don't mind it. Because, like, listen. That's the thing with Hunter, man. I know what I was doing when I put this man on Hunter. Like, I knew this guy would suffer. But, bro, there's so much peak, so much greatness. Because I knew that this could be, like, potentially Grin's favorite story of all time. Just like how it is with mine. And I want him to, I want to put people on my faves. Especially with where the story is going now. Because, man, like, Succession Wars is just too peak. It's just way too generational. It has the makings of the best arc of all time. Like, look at this damn thing. I think
we ranted a lot.
Yeah, we ranted a lot, man. But, bro, it don't matter. It's our video. It's our Hunter video. Alright. We'll end it here.
Yeah, I think we went for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
I think so.
Bro. It's been a while. But guys, sorry for the rant. Sorry for the 2.5 hours just Hunter glaze.
Yeah.
That's been going on. But if you want another video, let us know. Expect our first Hunter. Expect one of us to, or both of us, to probably be there when the chapter drops and cover the first chapter.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait for the next Hunter chapter.
Oh yeah, and another thing. Besides the D. Gray Man stuff, eventually, I think me and Grin discussed this, but there's also the Hisoka one shot that Grin has not read. There's also the Hunter x Hunter light novels that I've been quietly translating, and up to 3 chapters of the first one have been finished. eventually we're also going to make videos on that because that's free real estate for us.
I think another series that I've heard from my friends that I think me and Hart should cover is Ichi the Witch, which hopefully we will be able to cover that week to week because there's not that many chapters.
Yeah.
So at least we'll have something to carry over. But yeah, if you guys are excited to see any other extra new content from us, let us know, man. Let us know in the comments. Give us this video a like as always. Subscribe. See y'all in the next video.